Good morning, all of you. So, today we are starting with the next topic, that is the stereochemistry of disubstituted cyclohexane. Of disubstituted cyclohexane. Now, in the last year, we have studied means from first year, we started studying stereochemistry. So, in first year, we studied the stereochemistry. What is stereochemistry? Stereochemistry is the branch of chemistry which deals with the study of the three-dimensional structures of the molecule, which gives you the arrangement of atom or group of atoms in the space. And so, depending on this, the structures, three-dimensional structures of the molecule, we are able to study the some of the properties which cannot be explained by using the simple classical structure. And so, the stereochemistry, we have studied the methods to draw 3D structures, three-dimensional structures of organic molecules, in which we used dotted line and dotted line and wedge representation method. Then we used the sawhorse method. Then we used Fisher's projection formula, and then we used the Newman's projection formula. So, by using all these different types of methods, Newman's projection formula, and so by using these different methods, we are able to draw the structures of the organic molecules in a three-dimensional way. Then we studied the stereochemistry of alkanes, that is the open chain compounds. And in the stereochemistry of alkanes, we studied the stereochemistry of ethane, that is CH3, CH3. Then we studied the stereochemistry of propane, that is CH3, CH2, CH3. And then we studied the stereochemistry of normal butane, that is CH2, CH2, and here CH3, CH3. Means the atom arrangement of these atoms and the arrangement, three-dimensional arrangement of this molecule. We have studied all this. And in ethane and propane, we are getting the two types of conformations that we have studied. That is the staggered conformation, staggered conformation, and the second one is eclipsed conformation. Eclipsed conformation. And so, by using Newman's projection formula, we studied that when the molecule is kept in front, the carbon-carbon bond axis is kept in front of your eyes. So the front side is, or the front carbon is indicated by the dot, and the rear carbon is indicated by the circle. And so the bonds joining the circle, the center of the circle, are the bonds of the front carbon atom. And so here we are just drawing the structure of the ethane, and the bonds which comes up to the periphery of the circle are the bonds of the rear carbon atom. And so here we get the structure of CH3, CH3. So the front carbon atom is indicated by the dot, the rear carbon atom is indicated by the circle. The lines joining the center of the circle are the bonds of the front carbon atom, and these three bonds which are up to the periphery of the circle are the bonds of the rear carbon atom. So in this way we are able to view the molecule. And so this situation which arises where these non-bonded hydrogen atoms are away from each other, is termed as your staggered conformation, And so in the another way, when these two carbon atoms, when the hydrogen atoms are one behind the other, one behind the other in this way, means if we see that they are coming in front of each other, so these are having the dihedral angle. This situation you see it at the dihedral angle 0, 120, then 240, then 360 degrees Celsius. Means if you rotate the carbon carbon bond axis, by the rotation of the carbon carbon bond axis, you are getting the different dihedral angles. And so here this you are getting at the staggered, this conformation is termed as your eclipse conformation, and this is termed as your staggered conformation, which is obtained at the dihedral angle 60 degree, 180 degree and 300 degree, the dihedral angle when you rotate the carbon carbon bond axis. So in this way we are getting these two conformations. But when you studied the normal butane, and in normal butane we are getting four different types of conformations. That is a one is fully eclipsed conformation, in which this methyl groups are in front of each other. Here this is at the, they are again in front of each other. So this is fully eclipsed conformation, fully eclipsed conformation. Then we have seen that when this rotates, the dihedral angle, when you rotate by 60 degree, then you are going to get the conformation, that is the methyl group will go away from each other by 60 degree, and the hydrogen atoms are again going away from each other. So this conformation which is obtained is called as your skew conformation, or it is called as your Gauch's conformation, skew or Gauch's conformation. Then the another conformation that you get, that when these two bulky methyl groups are coming on the opposite side of each other, by the rotation of this angle is nearly 180, this is 180 degree. So this is called as your staggered conformation. And the another situation, that is the partially eclipsed, means when the hydrogen atoms and the methyl group, so here the methyl group, here this is hydrogen, this is methyl group, this is hydrogen, here this hydrogen. So this is your partially eclipsed conformation, partially eclipsed conformation. And so these are the different conformations that are obtained in the normal compound. And so here when the bond dihedral angle is 0 and 360 degree, you are getting this eclipse conformation. At 180 you are getting this conformation. At 120 degree, and when you rotate it from here 120 to 240 and 240, you are getting partial eclipse conformation, and skew conformation you are getting at 60 degree and 300 degree. So here see 0, 60, 120, 0, 60, 120, 180, 240, 300, 360, means one full rotation of the carbon carbon single bond is taking place, and all these different conformations are possible. This is most unstable, having the energy 4.1 to 6 kilocalories per mole, whereas here this skew means they are away from each other by just 60 degree. They are non-bonded. This is one, this is second carbon, the rear is third, and this is fourth carbon. So they are away from each other, but the steric hindrance, when the similar group comes in front of each other, in this situation they repel each other, that's why the energy increases. But when they come very close to each other, here it increases the energy by 0.9 kilocalories per mole. And so in this way, here there is no interaction, so the 0 kilocalories energy is there given by this, means this is the most stable conformation. And here again, when this methyl hydrogen and methyl hydrogen, this is 1.3 into 2 plus 1 it's equal to 2.6 is 3.6 kilocalories per mole. So in this way, means one methyl hydrogen interaction contributes 1.3 kilocalories, one hydrogen hydrogen interaction contributes 1 kilocalories. So in this way we are able to calculate the internal energy of the molecules, that why it is more or less. So these are the different situation. And then we studied the stereochemistry of cycloalkanes. Stereochemistry of stereochemistry of cycloalkanes. And in cycloalkanes, we have studied the cyclopropane, cyclobutane, cyclopentane, then cyclohexane, cycloheptane, and rest of all the compounds. And so all these carbon atoms, these are polymethylene compounds. These are also called as your polymethylene compounds. And this all polymethylene compounds means contains all CH2 groups involved in the ring formation. Contains all CH2 groups. And so here there are 3 CH2 group, 4 CH2 group, 5, 6, 7. In this way, then we studied that the carbon atom which is involved is sp3 hybridized, and so must have the bond angle 109 degree and 28 minutes. But where the observed bond angle here is 60, 90, then it is 108. This is 60 degree observed bond angle. Bond angle observed is 60, 90, 108 degree, 120 degree, and rest it goes on increasing. So in this way we studied the stability of these alkanes, stability of these cycloalkanes by using the Beer's angle strength theory, Beer's angle strength theory, and then by using the second theory, that is heat of combustion. Heat of combustion. And from heat of combustion theory we concluded with the point that cyclohexane is considered to be the most stable cycloalkane. Cyclohexane is most stable cycloalkane. And this was confirmed by the scientist that cyclohexane is having the molecular formula C6H12, means this is the structure of the molecule. And from this structure what it is clear that this is a planar molecule. But actually cyclohexane is most stable cycloalkane it is not because it is not it is not having planar structure. It is not having planar structure, and it's having puckered ring structure. Puckered ring structure. And this puckered ring structure means a zigzag structure. And so we studied drawing the structure in this way. That is, here in this puckered ring structure, every carbon atom which is sp2 hybridized maintains the bond angle 109 degree and 28 minutes, and the geometry is tetrahedral. And geometry is tetrahedral. And so we studied all this by looking towards the model of the cyclohexane molecule. And then there are 12 hydrogen atoms, and we say that all these 12 hydrogen atoms are same. But in cyclohexane, these all hydrogen atoms are not stable. Here, 6 hydrogen atoms are parallel to the axis, are parallel to the axis and perpendicular to the plane. Parallel to axis and perpendicular to plane. So they are termed as axial hydrogens. They are termed as axial hydrogens. And the hydrogens which are directing outside the periphery are termed as your equatorial hydrogens. So 6 hydrogen atoms are termed as equatorial 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 hydrogens, where they are designated as HA for axial and HE for equatorial. And so in this way we decided that this molecule is having two different types of hydrogens, and so on ring flipping, this molecule does not exist in any one form. It always goes on continually moving from chair 1 to chair 1 to chair 2. So here 1 2 3 4 5 and 6. So this carbon atoms, 1 is below the plane and 4 is above the plane, 2 3 5 6 are lying in one plane, where 1 will go above the plane and 4 will come below the plane, and so the structure of the cyclohexane will change in this way. And so here by ring flipping, this is called as your ring flipping, and by ring flipping the hydrogens which are axial gets converted to equatorial, and equatorial gets converted to axial, and so vice versa. In this way, this ring flipping is continuously going on in the solution of cyclohexane. And so in this way, so in the last year we studied the conformations of cyclohexane. Then we also means the two rings, two chair forms are possible, chair 1 and chair 2, and these are the stable structures. Chair 1 proceeds to form chair 2 via boat conformation, twist boat conformation, again boat conformation, and then chair 2 conformation. In this way the ring flipping is taking place. This also we have studied. Then we have studied the stereochemistry of the monosubstituted cyclohexanes. Monosubstituted cyclohexanes. Monosubstituted cyclohexanes means what? The C6H12. This molecule is on treating. Here you will get C6H11Y. Means here you are going to get this type of structure, this Y. So sorry, this is benzene structure. So this is your, we will take it as X here. So X2 will give you C6H11X. So here this X may be any type of group. It's not halogen. It is not considered as halogen, but it may be any type of group. And so this monosubstituted cyclohexane, and we studied the two conformations of cyclohexane in this way, that this group may be axial, but after ring flipping, the group which is axial will get converted to equatorial, So this is axial methyl or axial substituted cyclohexane, and this is equatorially substituted cyclohexane. So this is more stable. Because there is no interaction. But here when this group is axial, here the axial hydrogen atoms in gives you 1,3 diaxial interaction. So this concept also we have seen. And so the molecule always try to remain, or the substituent always try to remain at equatorial position, which is the most stable structure or the conformation for the stability. Equatorial conformation is more stable than the axial conformation, because when the group is axial, it shows 1,3 diaxial interaction and increases the internal energy of the molecule. And so in this way we are able to study the stability of the monosubstituted cyclohexane, and then we have studied the locking of conformation also, that molecule always try to remain at the equatorial position only. That is the tertiary butyl cyclohexane example we have seen. Then we studied di-substituted cyclohexane, and we have studied the geometries of the molecule di-substituted cyclohexane, and we have studied the geometry that it gives rise, that is the two types of substituents. And so here the two types of substituents, they may be at on the same carbon atom, they may be on the adjacent carbon atoms, they may be away from each other by as 1,3 position, or they may be away from each other by at 1,4 position. So here we are getting 1,1 disubstituted cyclohexane, 1,2 disubstituted, 1,3 disubstituted, and 1,4 disubstituted cyclohexane. And so in this way we want to study the geometrical isomers of 1,1, 1,2, 1,3, 1,4 disubstituted cyclohexanes, and we want to study the optical activity or the optical isomerism, and then we want to study the conformations possible. Conformations possible means we will see that how these molecules can be written, what type of conformations are obtained, what are the different types of geometrical isomers, what are the optical isomers, and then we want to study the relative stability of the conformations. And so here in this topic we want to study the stereochemistry of disubstituted cyclohexane in this way, that is 1 1 1 2 1 3 and 1 4 disubstituted cyclohexanes. And so how we can draw the different conformations for this molecule, and what will be the positions of the relative groups, and how we can determine the stability of these compounds, which is more stable, which is less stable, why it is more stable, why it is less stable. These all things we must be able to compare. So this was the general theme of your stereochemistry. Now it is necessary to study the stereochemistry of the molecules, because some of the physical properties of the molecules are depending on their structure of the molecule, and so it's necessary to study the stereochemistry of the disubstituted cyclohexane. Thank you very much. We will continue in the next lecture.